Oh, man, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We are here. College football world has been turned upside down, dipsy-doo dunkaroo on its head. We got to talk about it. Everything with Stephen A. Smith, with what's happening in Boulder. Just so much is happening. It's so fast. We're going to chop it up all here, right here on the Victory Formation Sports Show after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. Yes, we are live. We are talking about what's happening with Stephen A. Smith. He's catching a lot of flack on social media. We're going to be talking about what's happening with Deion Sanders in Colorado. He's catching a lot of heat on social media. Drop in the chat where your name and where you're from. Drop in the chat your name, where you're from. And I was gonna do like the countdown music and all that stuff, but I want to just jump right into it because there's so much to cover. And also I'll open up the phone lines if you guys want to get in here a little bit later. But first, we have to talk about this video. Stephen A. Smith on his podcast, No Mercy. Only see in your comments. What's going on, Christopher Dukes? What's going on, JSU Tigers? What's going on, everybody? But we got to talk about Deion. Oh, no. We talk about Stephen A. Smith in his podcast, No Mercy, and what he had to say about HBCU programs and about what's taking place with Deion Sanders. And it just wasn't true. What's going on, Cortez? What's going on, man? So, Stephen A. Smith, a couple of days ago, was on his podcast, No Mercy. What's going on, Durrell and Aaron Anderson? We're doing a midday. We're doing in a 2:00 show. We don't normally come on this early, but we're gonna do a live show and a call in for the folks that want to get in here. Just building it up, chopping up some game. What's going on? Beasley, yes, we're gonna talk about Tavion too. We're gonna talk about Tavion because that's unfortunate. What's going on, everybody? H-Town in the house, and so let's get right to it. So Stephen A. Smith, this was him on his podcast, No Mercy, and we're gonna take a listen to what he had to say. Let me make it small. This is fair use. This is fair use. This is for, we're breaking down some of this stuff and we're going to talk about it because it's unfortunate that he had these things to say because they're simply not true. Let's take a listen. I'm not going to show all the video because I don't want to get a copyright strike. You know how they be on certain stuff like this. Let's take a listen.
Last year, they had a problem with this spring football game getting 2,500 people to show up. This weekend, Primetime sold out the damn place. 45,000 people showed up. We got people hating on him all the time. Oh, he should have stayed at the HBCU longer. He shouldn't have used them to catapult his career and all of this other stuff they chirping about. Shut the hell up. When he was at Jackson State, he did his job. He won football games, brought attention to his program, and never hesitated to bring attention to HBCUs and the needs that they had in order to elevate the profiles of historically Black colleges and universities across this country.
All right, let's stop right there. Okay, so, a lot of that is true. A lot of that is very true. But at the same time, it's like he's also doing it for himself. He also used a lot of verbiage, a lot of words, a lot of things that were like, didn't have to use. You did a lot of that stuff, and so people can continue to talk about that. They will continue to talk about that because the two will forever be linked. Let's continue on.
Imagine what opportunities that potentially will open up for African-American coaches coaching at HBCUs now. Because if Primetime goes and all of a sudden he puts Colorado in a national championship picture, what about the next great HBCU coach? He's opening up the doors of opportunities for.
Okay, all right. This is where we have to. Yeah, come on, bro. Come on, Stephen. Come on. Let me go full screen for it. Come on, Stephen A. Come on, bro. You know better than this, man. You know better than this. You know why I know you know better than this? Because you're on TV each and every single day talking about Black coaches, even at the professional realm. The professional realm, the NFL, the NBA, that don't get opportunities. You talk about the Eric Bieniemys. You talk about the different coaches that at the professional realm do the best that they can do at that realm. and they don't get opportunities. And you think that black coaches at the HBCU realm are going to get the same opportunities that Deion Sanders got? Bro, you know that's not true. Like and that's the problem. You can't go on TV and just say a blatant lie and be mad that that people are calling you out, because you know that just simply isn't the case. You know that will not take place, because if that was the case, why doesn't Eric Bieniemy have a job as a head coach? He's won 2 Super Bowls in a position that Doug Peterson has gotten 2 jobs in, the offense coordinator of the Chiefs, and Matt Nagy got a job, a head coaching job. So come on, bro. Come on. Like, both can't be true at once. You can't be saying, damn, they need to give better opportunities for black coaches at the professional level, and then at the same time say, well, Deion's opening up doors for black coaches from HBCUs. They won't even hire black coaches from Power 5s to be head coaches. Who are the black coaches at the Power 5 level? You got Deion Sanders, you got Mel Tucker, you got Mark Loxley in Maryland. I'm running out of names. Deion Sanders in Colorado, Mel Tucker at Michigan State, Loxley at Maryland. I'm running out of names. Somebody in the comments, can you tell me? All right, please. Like, just tell me. That's what I'm saying. So that's why you can't go on. So you're telling me more black coaches going to get opportunities at the FBS or Power 5 levels when they don't even hire black coaches from FBS or Power 5. Oh, Franklin. You got Franklin at Penn State and Freeman at Notre Dame. we just sat here and named all of them. We literally named all of them. There's 130 some odd FBS jobs, and we just named every single black coach. Purdue recently, or y'all saying Purdue recently hired a black coach. Marshall's coach is black. Okay, we're barely getting them in. There's 130 FBS jobs, and we literally just named every single black coach. We literally just named them. Loxley at Maryland, Franklin at Penn State, Mel Tucker at Michigan State, Deion at Colorado, Freeman at Notre Dame. Marshall was in Power 5. Yes, Marshall was in the Sun Belt. Like, we just named we literally just named every single coach. And you mean to tell me they're going to now start hiring guys like Willie Simmons at FAMU and Trey Oliver at North Carolina Central? Not to say that they want to be there. That's not to say that they're not happy where they're at. But now all of a sudden these guys are going to get jobs? Come on, bro. That doesn't even make sense. You know that don't make sense. You go on TV fighting for the guys in the NFL. Let's keep listening, man. Let's keep listening. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button too, by the way.
Future African Americans who want to coach on the highest levels. Think about the big picture. There isn't a black person alive that should not be rooting for primetime Deion Sanders to succeed. Because whether it's his intent or not, it will open up doors for all of us.
And that's cap. Once again, this is cap. What makes you think this? Why do you think this? Like, I'm serious. I'm so serious. There are black coaches that have had success, ain't opened up a damn door for nobody. There are black coaches at the professional and college levels that have had massive success and ain't opened up a damn door to no one. It just hasn't. It just hasn't. In the NFL, Tony Dungy's won a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlins won a Super Bowl. They implemented the Rooney Rule. And there's less black coaches now than when they implemented the Rooney Rule. Come on, bro. Like, that doesn't make sense. Dino at Syracuse. Okay, Dino Bar. So we literally named every single black coach in the NCAA. And it has so what are we talking about? Like, there have been very successful black coaches at the HBCU level before Deion Sanders, and none of them got opportunities. The one that got an opportunity to go, from what I've been told, you guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, there was one at Alcorn. They got an opportunity, and he was able to get either the Southern Miss job. He got an FBS job. But that coach was white. So the one black college coach that got an opportunity before Deion to move up to the FBS was a white man. I'm not hating. I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm pointing out the facts, right? Like I'm not. This is not a hate. This is just, if you call it hating, it's just the facts. Shout out to Damo, man. Like, because all we're doing is point out the facts. That's why I said Stephen A. But Stephen A. knows better. That's why it's disappointing, because he knows better. And the reason why I know he knows better is because he goes on TV every single day fighting for black coaches all the time. And so he knows that what he's saying is not true. He don't even believe what he's saying is true. He don't even believe that. But him and Prime are friends, and so it makes for a good headline or whatever. Let's continue on. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, hold on. So y'all said, yeah, he was true, Coach Hobson. He was a USM alum. So yeah, okay, there we go. So that's what I'm saying. He don't even believe that. Let's continue on, man.
Do you understand that the Georgia Bulldogs are the reigning defending national champions? Colorado was 1-11 last year. And Colorado, because of primetime Deion Sanders, was on ESPN, and Georgia was on ESPN too. I don't see too many brothers doing Aflac commercials with Nick Saban.
Oh, Lord. Oh. So now we're judging success off the Aflac commercials you have with Nick Saban. Yeah, Colorado is going to be the most talked about college football. Let's go ahead and put this out there in the ethosphere. Colorado is going to be the most talked about college football team in a very long time. This year's Colorado team is going to get more clicks, more article reads, more post views on YouTube, more anything than almost any college football team of all time. And here's why. Because of the way they're doing things. See, I like what Josh Pate, he works for 247 Sports. He has a show called Late Kick on YouTube, and he did a video. And with all the guys leaving Colorado, they are going to be the most talked about team, because win or lose, there is a reason to talk about them. They have an exuberant, eccentric, outgoing coach who is famous before he ever got into coaching. He's the most famous coach probably to ever coach. Can we say that? Is it okay for us to say Deion Sanders is the most famous coach to ever coach football? There has never been a coach with a resume like his that decided to get into coaching. I don't know. I can't think of one. And then to have a level of success. At a black college, right? At a black college during the era of social media. So all of these things worked for Deion. All of these worked in his favor. He's a superstar, flamboyant, famous Hall of Fame player who was the best ever at what he did, is playing cornerback and punt return. And then he gets into coaching at a black college, and flips the record around and has great success and gets the #1 recruit to come to a black college. All of those are like billboard. Like, that's like a movie script. It's like a movie script. Now he goes to a program who has been who's been horrible for the better part of 30 years. Get celebrities to come visit the place, like Lil Wayne and Rick Ross and Gillian Wallow, and shoots documentaries and has cameras follow him around everywhere. Like, it's like a movie script. And now the first thing he does is send 60 players home. Tell them thanks, but no thanks. And so all of these things work in favor of him being the most talked about program. Of course, his spring game is going to be on ESPN over Georgia's. Georgia's boring, but boring wins. Alabama's boring. They're very boring. Colorado's the new flash. It's like the new girl at school. Like, damn, who is that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we got to see what she is talking about. We got to see what it is. And that's what Colorado is. They're the new chick on the block. Now, whether the new chick on the block is worth anything is different. Hold on. Whether the new chick on the block is worth anything is totally different. But Stephenasmith is just straight up lying when it comes about HBCU programs, saying that this is going to help coaches in the future. He's lying, and he knows he's lying. Now, what also happened, so I want to show you some things that were brought to my attention, because this is what also has Colorado trending in the news. So obviously, like I said, they've got 60 new players. Hit that thumbs up button, by the way. So some of y'all don't think so it's about his success. Okay, we're going to see his success and whether he's able to have success at the Power 5 level. So one of the things that had Colorado and Coach Prime and Deion trending over the last few days is the fact that they had this mass exodus of their team, right? They brought in 40-something transfers before spring, brought in like roughly 40-something transfers before the spring. And then had the spring, and then they've seen another 30 or some odd players leave the door. Now, some of the players are calling out the way that they're doing things at Colorado. This tweet exchange is from one of their former players. It says, this is from a young man named Zachary Courtney. It says, for the coaches who are trying to recruit me, I am sorry, but I will not be able to get y'all my film from my practices last season since I am not allowed to have it because the head coach at CU won't allow it. Me and Deion. This is very unlucky, and if you have any questions, just text me. And then one of the Colorado supporters says it's their film. Schools don't randomly send you their practice footage to players. You're not entitled to it. And then the young man said, it's my film from the fall when he was not here. I feel as if I deserve it. And then another young man said it's probably because he quit before the spring game. Because remember, Deion made a thing about, we had guys quit before the spring game and we don't want quitters and all of that stuff. And then he said, they told me to quit before the spring game. It's like they told me to. So that's what made that whole, he had that press conference and he was like, oh, we don't like some of the guys that quit a few days before the spring game. When now it's coming out that he told some of them folks, hey, your services are no longer needed before said spring game. Now, to make things interesting, because I wasn't 100% sure. I do see cats that didn't play during the regular season for their school when they enter the portal have practice footage. Like I always, you see that every single day. Kids with practice footage. So to withhold practice footage, I thought maybe, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I'm not 100% sure how that process works. I was like, okay, maybe you're supposed to get your footage before you actually enter the portal. But then Ryan Clark actually asked that question. He was like, yo, how does this work? Like, I'm not sure how it works when you have kids in the transfer portal. How does it work when it comes to getting their film? Now, he actually got an answer from a current FBS coach. This was what took place. This was the exchange. So I'm going to read you the tweet. It was from Ryan Clark. This is the official Ryan Clark account. It says, are most transfer portal players allowed to get their practice film? Because he saw that exchange, right? Get their practice film from the school they're leaving. Colorado players making it public that they won't be, meaning won't be able to get their film. I'm wondering if handing over the film is a normal practice. I know a transfer from another D1 that wasn't allowed to get his either, meaning his film. And then Jim Mora, the head football coach of UConn, had this to say. He said, yes, Ryan, most do, as in most do hand them over the film. We at UConn believe that at this level, it is our responsibility to help these young men reach a path that leads to ultimate success, both on and off the field. We will always help the man transferring however we can. It's not personal. It's bigger than an ego. Now, obviously, you could say, well, Jeff, that's just how Jim Mora does it. Prime doesn't have to do it that way. You're absolutely right. He doesn't have to do it this way. But to act like it's not a practice that takes place for the folks that are doing that, not to say the guys in Colorado are, but for the folks that are acting like, oh, they'll never give over the film. Nobody would ever do that. Well, that's just simply not true, because we see another head coach of another FBS program saying that, yes, you do give up the film. And I've seen plenty of practice footage of cats out here with their film. So that's another thing that seems to be bothering a ton of people. I mean, are we going to talk about it? Like, are we, you know what I'm saying? And especially if we're talking about game film from the 2022 season when Deion wasn't even the head coach of Colorado. Wasn't even the head coach of Colorado during the 2022 season. I don't know. And so now you've got this. Like I said, Colorado's replacing roughly around 60 players or so. This is what On3 has recently put out about what they're doing at Colorado. He says this is because I'm just showing you what's going on. Let me show you. This is what they're saying. They're saying Colorado now has over 50 players in the NCAA transfer portal. That is not normal. Let me say that again. This is not normal. Y'all saying, oh, people do this all the time. No, they don't. This is not normal. Like this is not. I mean, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this is not normal. 51 players, 51 to have less than 20 current scholarship players on your roster. It's not normal. That's not normal. Now, granted, you've got guys signed already that just won't get there until June, July, August, and then you'll bring in another 20 some odd players from the guys that left after the spring game. Now, I don't know about y'all. But let's be honest. Can we be honest? Most of the guys in the portal are guys that couldn't start at their old school. Let me say that again. Most of the guys in the portal are guys that couldn't start at their own school. Now, I'll see somebody say, oh, well, he did the same at JSU, right? He did the same at Jackson State, right? He did the same at JSU. First of all, no, he didn't. It wasn't like this. This is and second of all, JSU has 63 scholarship players. Colorado and FBS programs have 85. That's a big difference. Second of all, going from an FBS program, specifically an SEC program or a Big 12 program or a Big 10 program, and coming to the FCS is different. It's just, y'all tell us all the time how bad black college football is. Y'all tell us all the time how bad HBCU football is. Y'all tell us all the time, oh, they only go in there because they go to dominate. Okay, y'all tell us that all the time. So let's use that example. Y'all say it's not as good. Colorado's not an FCS program. Colorado's not an HBCU program. And so therefore, getting guys from other FBS programs, a lot of them who didn't start at their said school because they couldn't beat out the guy in front of them at that said school, how's that going to work? How's that going to work against the Pac-12 by at the end of the year had 6 ranked teams? How's that going to work against a Pac-12 by at the end of the year had teams like Oregon State won 10 games? UCLA won 9 or 10 games. USC had the Heisman Trophy winner. Oregon, Washington, Utah, which is the Pac-12 champion. Come on. Like let's make it make sense. Can we make it make sense? Right? The big guy that folks are excited about Colorado getting is a running back out of Houston. He's a dog, right? 2021, he was the AAC offensive rookie of the year. He had 14 touchdowns, but he's coming off an ACL injury. Kavasier Smoke, the running back transferred from UK, couldn't start at Kentucky. Couldn't start it. Y'all tell me how bad a program Kentucky is in the SEC, and y'all just got their backup running back. That's tough, man. Your best players, as bad as you say black college football is, as bad as y'all tell me black college football is, y'all tell me all the time in my comments, black college football is terrible. As bad as y'all say it is, the best players on Colorado all come from black college football. 35 players. You said they had 35 players. That's not 60. 35 is not 60. Like, can we talk about that? 35 players is not 60. And I think what they're starting to find out, it's a little tougher to recruit in Boulder, Colorado than it is in sunny Los Angeles. It's a lot easier to get big, like USC, the transfers they were bringing in. Caleb Williams, he won the Heisman. Jordan Addison, he won the Biletnikoff. Like, those are the kind of transfers. And there's no disrespect to the guys who are going to Colorado, but Caleb Williams won the Heisman. Jordan Addison won the Biletnikoff and is looking like he's going to be a first-round pick in this year's NFL draft. Colorado's bringing in Kavasier Smoke, who couldn't start at Kentucky. Possibly bringing in a young man who's coming off an ACL injury. Really good player. He's coming off an ACL. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, like if this was any other, program, we just got to be realistic and to try to use them. And this is no disrespect to Colorado. I wish them all the success in the world, but we have to be honest. You can't catapult. You don't have to put down one thing to catapult another. You don't. And what I mean by that is, so for all the people, and this is what I mean why the standards, that's why it's so is hypocritical, it's messed up, it's so messed up how people, and shout out to my girl Yard Talk HBCU brought this up because the mass exodus that's happening to Colorado, obviously some people like myself is like, man, that's a little different. Some people calling it out, whatever, don't like it. A lot of the parents of the players don't like it, or the former players now. But when it was a black college that did something very, very similar, it was a national news story on ESPN by none other than Stephenasmith. Shout out to my girl from Yard Talk. Yard Talk brought this up. She brought this up. This was Stephenasmith when the young lady at Grambling on the volleyball team did the exact same thing Deion is doing for football. And this is what Stephen A had to say back then. Let's take a listen. I want to make sure, because I don't want to get no copyright strikes. I ain't messing with nobody over ESPN. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, because it's not the same tune.
Period. A new coach comes in and completely eradicates every scholarship on the roster. These are kids we're talking about here.
For those
they can't. Well, how they gonna pay their tuition? How they gonna pay for school? How they gonna finish school? I thought this was an institution of higher learning. I thought we cared about these kids, making sure these kids get an education so they could contribute to our society. I thought we cared about that. I thought we cared about their upbringing. I thought we cared about their well-being. You got parents and students literally scammering, like, how are we going to pay for our tuition?
And it's June.
And the
School starts in a couple of months.
And the athletic director, no comment.
Okay. Whoa. So that's what Stephenasmith had to say about Grambling. You know, the black school, about a volleyball team. When the Grambling coach came in and did the exact same thing, she told girls, thanks but no thanks, because Grambling had a terrible volleyball season the year before. They had a terrible volleyball season. The coach came in and said, I'm bringing in all my own players, thanks but no thanks. They made it a national story on ESPN in a bad way, in a negative way. Can we talk about that? This was a black college. They made it Colorado's getting praised for cutting players. They're getting praised for cutting players. And not just players that were on the existing roster. Not just players on the existing roster. They're cutting players that they brought in. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Shout out to Yard Talk, bro. Shout out to Yard Talk, man, for providing this. Let's keep listening, man. Like, what else did he have to say?
Comment? No comment? Nothing? And this woman, Chelsea Lucas, you just gonna walk up in there and just strip kids of a scholarship, nowhere to go, scrambling to land somewhere else so they could get their tuition paid? Ladies and gentlemen, parents out there, especially African Americans, because we talk about HBCU here, we need to strongly look into what the hell is going on at Grambling State University. We got to pay attention.
So do we got to do it to Colorado too? Do we got to do it with Colorado too? Selective outrage. I like that. Do we got to do it? Do we got to pay attention to what's going on at Colorado too? Because they just did the same thing. It's just not volleyball, and it's not at a black school. The only difference between Colorado, it's not a volleyball, it's not a black school. But He had a lot of strong words for Chelsea Lucas. He ain't said nothing about Deion. Nothing at all. Because if we gonna levy the hammer on Grambling. We're gonna levy the hammer and call Grambling out like that on national TV about that coach who took all them scholarships. Come on, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, bro. We can't. Like I'm just saying. If we gonna do the same thing to a black college, because you already lying about the black colleges when it comes to they gonna get better opportunities because of Deion in Colorado. We know that ain't true. Whatever. But if you gonna levy the hammer, you gonna go on your platform, national TV, and drop a sledgehammer on Grambling State. Where's that energy for Colorado? Where's that energy? Because Deion just did the same thing. He did the exact same thing. The only difference, like Deion literally turned over 80% of his roster. Only 18 kids from the 2022 season is on the current roster right now. 18 out of 85 scholarships. I'm not a math wizard, but it's a pretty damn low percentage. But I ain't heard you ain't said nothing about the roster turnover, but you had a lot to say about Grambling. You had a whole lot to say about what was happening at Grambling. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying we got to keep the same energy, bro. We got to keep the same energy. You can't go on national TV lying about black colleges. You can't go on national TV trying to bash black colleges. You can't go on national TV, do all of this, do all of that. But just because you buddies with someone and just because it's a different sport and it's your friend, you ain't got nothing to say. Nah, bro. Nah. I guess I'll just be the one to say it. I'll just use my little bitty platform and say what needs to be said. Because if you had a problem with that, you should have a problem with this. If you had a problem with that, you should have the exact same problem with this. You should have the exact same problem with this. If you had a problem with the volleyball coach at Grambling, you should have a problem with this. You can call in here. There's the number on the screen. Because, and the thing is, because of the portal, I'm not going to argue with anybody about what's right and what's right and what's wrong. I mean, you know, it is what it is. The way college sports is done today. But if you had a problem with that, you should have a problem with this. That's just how I feel about it, man. That's just how I feel about it. And I mean, I'm gonna just keep it all the way funky with you. That's just how I feel about it. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
Jeff, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
It's Carpet Tech.
What's going on?
Everything's cool. Everything's cool, brother.
Yeah, what's up with you?
Well, I'm saying everything's cool between at the end of the day, nobody's above the program. Deion's not above the program. I mean, you got to get at Rick for that. You know what I'm saying? From Deion, it didn't matter if it was Deion or another coach. It was designed for Colorado to come up overnight because that's what the expectation is. It has nothing to do with the children, the young adults, should we say?
Yeah, I get that. But I'm not. My energy not even really necessarily aimed towards him. It's aimed towards the coverage of this stuff, right? Like when Chelsea did that at Grambling, it was a national story. It was on first take, and so therefore,
yes, but we can't get everybody. We can't get everybody.
What you mean?
We can't get everybody. There's more colleges than that. It's probably about 50 more than that.
But no college is turning over 80% of the roster. That has never been done. Like, I mean, just being like, it's never been done. It's never been done before.
Yeah, it happens, but it's a once in a lifetime thing. You'll probably never see it again, and we're gonna move on.
Okay, hey, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, yeah, I mean, maybe it is a once in a lifetime thing. I don't make it. I mean, and the thing is, and this is the type of stuff that like. This is the type of stuff, like I said, it get kind of sad, but it is what it is. You'll see a story like this, right? Let me go ahead and show you. Hit that thumbs up button, by the way. And you can call in. The calling numbers on the screen, 727-731-8723. You'll see this. Colorado offensive tackle, I don't even want to mess up his name, has re-entered the transfer portal. He got to the Buffs in January. Like it's sad, but it's funny because you're kind of messing with these kids' livelihoods, right? You tell them to come on in, join the team, be a part of the rebuild or whatever. They get there, and you send them packing 3 months later. You send them packing 3 months later. That's pretty rough. That's some rough stuff, man. That is some rough stuff right there. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
Doc.
What's going on, Doc? What's on your mind?
Oh man, I ain't nothing, here on another day in paradise at work. And
what's happening, my man?
look on, man, hey. So what I'm hearing about why these kids are entering the transfer portal, because one, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator are looking for a certain type of player, especially on defense with Charles Kelly. That's the reason why you saw Tavion Beasley jump in the portal again, because he doesn't fit Charles Kelly's, I think, defensive scheme, or the way he wants his defensive backs to be long, tall, long, rangy. Since he come from Alabama, but then again, he came from Alabama, and they had pretty much the third worst pass defense.
Exactly. Alabama fans were happy to see him leave. By the way, they actually threw a party when he left.
So it doesn't excite me why, you know what I'm saying, what he's trying to do and trying to emulate what he's done in Alabama. Of course, with Sean Lewis, he's get up and go. So, but he didn't have the same success at Kent State last season either.
No, it's like a 4-win team.
It's 4 or 5 win team. So, the thing about the turnover roster, 80% of your roster, bro, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And the one you was talking about, the player that was asked for his film after he jumped into the portal, like you said, it feels me. I would have took care of that before you jumped in. You asked for your film before you decide to transfer out of the school.
Yeah.
You were going to leave out of the school. You need to get your film. You should have transferred. You should have talked to them beforehand before you thought about jumping in that portal.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that came to me, bro, is let's think about this. Colorado was 1-11, right, last season.
Yes.
Was it the players that was trash, or was it the coaching that was trash?
It's probably a mix of both. It's typically a mix of both, because we've seen good coaches elevate bad teams, and we've seen, but you're only gonna go as far as your players. But we've seen good coaches with good teams not be as good as they should have been. So yeah, it's definitely a mix of both.
No, but that's something that sometimes you got to think about. You think about this. Carl Durrell was at Colorado for 2-3 years, man. He was never a good coach. He was at UCLA for a couple of years. He was never a good coach.
Mm-mm.
They need to go and vet these dudes when they go try to sign them for a coach. They just looking for
we got some more callers though, Doc. I appreciate you.
So you good,
man?
Every time.
Appreciate it. No, I definitely think. See, the thing is, I think, like I said, I keep referencing Josh Pay. I think he's really smart. I think it's a mixture of both, man. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
Julian.
What's going on, Julian? What's on your mind?
What's up, Jeff?
What's going on, Julian? What's going on?
Not much, man. Hey, look, we got to understand. First, I want to say two things right quick.
Talk to me.
First, it's getting all the hype because it's prime time. That's all it is.
I agree.
It's getting major focus because it's prime time. Any other coach do it? Lincoln Riley did it last year. No, he didn't do 80%, but he did almost just as much.
Nah, 35 and 60 is not almost the same.
So
it's not. If your salary is 35,000 and 160,000, I'm taking a $60,000 salary. It's not the same, dog.
Right. So, second of all, what we got to understand is that once the transfer portal, the NIL, and all of these factors came into college football, it has become a business.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the business end of it. When a Fortune 500 company brings in a new CEO or whatever, same thing happens. They call people in, tell you you're not going to fit our profile, hit the door where the good Lord split you. That's just what it is. And if that's what Deion's doing. And he actually gave them ample enough time to put on the showcase. They didn't put on the showcase, that's their fault, not his. He was up front, told them what he was going to do in the beginning.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think there's enough players in the portal, enough good players in the portal for him to win, let's say, 6 games?
Yeah, there is.
You think there's enough good players in the portal for them to win 6 games this year in the Pac-12?
Yeah. I watch the portal. I look at who's in there. And if you add a couple of them along with what he has already coming in, see, he's so much in the spotlight that we forget about who committed and who signed 2-3 months ago.
Who?
You understand what I'm saying?
Who's the name that pops off the screen?
There's a slew of kids coming in.
Who?
Huh?
Who's a name that excites you that's coming in that isn't already on the team? I'm just curious.
All of them. All of them.
I appreciate you, man. Like we got a busy call. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man.
I appreciate it. That was an easy way to say, "Oh no." Man said all of them. Oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of y'all. Let me see if I. Oh shoot. What's going on? You're on with Jeff. What's going on? Hello.
What up, Jeff? This weird.
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Man, you know, here we go again. I'm back.
Yeah, talk to me.
Look, that last guy, I see why you kicked him off the phone. He just a PBR. That's exactly what he is. And a lot of these people calling in and saying, oh, well. Well, I mean, if it is a business, it is a business. But I look at it like this. If you look at some of them guys that 3 years ago from Jackson State, that you got kicked out of there. He came in there, kicked most of them guys out. Check who we're going to keep. Then the next year over, you look at guys like Malachi Wideman, Tony Gray, or especially Malachi Wideman, was a beast on the field. The next year over, he didn't even play Malachi, but to the end of the game, like he was a scrub, and then say he had bad grades. Now you look at Malachi Wideman, he at home in Florida taking his sister to school. You know, and I hate to see that stuff happen to some of these kids because he's a star athlete. And Jackson, Mississippi was crazy about Malachi Wideman.
Man.
I mean, I remember running to a coach and asking him, man, why Malachi not playing? He said, I don't know. He's a good kid, but this, that, and the third. I ain't going to say what coach he was.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say that in general. So that lets you know that it's really business with these guys. These guys don't care if you catch 13, 14 touchdowns a year. The next year you might be sitting on the sideline. So that's why you look at guys like Shane Hooks. It shows Ole Miss over Colorado because why go behind? Why sit there and watch Travis Hunter and Shador and them get all the perks and all the thumb rubs and stuff like that while you sitting back and when the clutch situation going on in the game, they're not looking at you. They're not, you know what I'm saying? So these guys better look at what's going on before they start making these decisions and they get sit up there to Colorado and just be up there very cold because it can't be cold when it's cold when it ain't going your way.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I mean, I ain't have to say. I just want to say that, you know, because I want whoever listens, I want them kids to actually hear me when I just talked about Malachi because that's a perfect example. He really don't care how good you is. If you ain't kissing his butt or whatever, or whatever the situation might be, because I don't know all the personal stuff, you're gonna be sitting on the sideline. You can be the star guy, you know. So it's good some guys jumping in the portal and you know building their stock up. And go ahead and leave because he might be a hell raiser. You know, it is what it is. You know how it is. My way or your way.
Absolutely, bro.
Or the highway.
Appreciate you calling in, boss man. It was a good call. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. No, I mean that's very true. That's something I didn't even think about. But it's going to be something to watch. Now, somebody said you see all the dogs coming in. I'm looking at the list. I mean, there's some good players. There's nothing that's jumping off the screen though. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
What's going on? This Unc, man.
What's going on, Unc? What's on your mind?
So, hello?
Yeah, talk to me.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey man, I think it's the ego, man. Deion's ego was getting in the way. You're not gonna be successful your first year after you need some depth.
That's a fact.
And in the transfer portal, all you getting is 3. You're getting 3 stars that you getting the same players that you just let go in that transfer portal.
That's a fact.
I think his problem is ego, and he plays the favoritism game to certain kids. Now you in the Pac-12. You in the Pac-12 with them big boys. You got a subpar offense and defensive line. You're not gonna be able to fix that in 1 year.
No, that's your
bread and butter.
Absolutely, I completely agree. See, the thing is, the transfer portal, and I appreciate you calling in, man, because you brought up some good points. So I appreciate you calling in. But the transfer portal allows you to, I think I heard Colin Kaepernick say this. Not Colin Kaepernick. Colin Cowherd say this. You'll be able to fix one side of the ball in one offseason. To try to fix the whole roster with the transfer portal, it's just not going to happen. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
What's up, Jeff? This DJ.
What's going on, DJ? What's on your mind?
On the offensive side of the ball, honestly, they're decent.
Who's decent on offense?
From the rebuild that they did with Washington, Wells, and Brown, and then they just had 2 other offensive linemen go there. On the offensive line side, on the offensive side, they're decent. The holes are on the defensive side, but I never thought that he would rebuild the whole team in 1 year, even though football is a big business.
I agree.
I mean, he's doing business moves. Yes, I agree with that. But this isn't high school. When it comes to football, if you're not getting that energy out of a previous coach player, you're gonna get them off of the team regardless.
I agree with you, man. I mean, I like I said, I'm. It's just an interesting approach to flip 80% of your roster, man. But hey, I think it's a very interesting approach.
I agree with that mindset, but this is football. It's harder to build a football team than a basketball team.
Absolutely.
The numbers and the recruiting style of each coach is different.
Yes.
And there was 1-11.
Yes.
There wasn't 4-8. There wasn't 4-7. There was 1-11. So you have to clear the barn to get the people and animals you want in there.
Hey, man. You bring up some good points, man. Appreciate you calling in.
All right.
I mean, I definitely agree with what he's saying. The thing is that do you think you can do that in one offseason? And the answer is no. So why let go 80% of your roster? That's what I'm saying. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
Jeff, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Okay. It's Carpet Tech. I called back. All right, so there's 2 questions. Okay, so the question is that you said, what do you think Colorado record's going to be, correct?
Yeah. How many wins do you see on this
Okay.
ride? I'm showing the.
Okay. So based off what I was saying, remember I played against Reggie Bush and Arian Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just get that out the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only threat we have is Oregon Ducks, USC Trojans, and if you want to throw Utah in there at the end of the season,
you're just skipping them first 2 games. TCU, who's in the national championship last year, and Nebraska, who just brought in a coach, and Matt Rule is pretty good at the college level. He was what he was at the pro level. But
I like Matt Rule. Matt Rule a little tough cookie, but he ain't gonna do nothing because he ain't got as much talent as Deion's acquiring.
Okay.
You can look at the roster and look at it. So if worse at the end, we'll probably go 9-3, if anything. But for the most part, we should be able to go. But for the most part, we should be able.
You see 9 wins?
No, I said what? No. Oh, without a blink. I mean, you got to understand. USC, UCLA quarterbacks going to the draft. Okay, Stanford ain't gonna do nothing. Nebraska, they just getting it together like Deion, and they don't have as much talent. TCU ain't got that quarterback. He's going to the draft. Okay, Utah, they just came up over the last 2 years. Okay, everybody else, I don't even remember.
Washington State, Oregon State.
Okay,
Oregon State
so
won 10 games last year.
Like I said, Oregon, all I'm saying is Oregon, USC, and Utah is a threat. Now, back to the other guy mentioning about the old linemen, why do you think they wouldn't got Sean Lewis? Think fast, do fast, right? That's what he say, right? Yeah. So if the old lineman is not there, Shador's going to get the ball out of his hands faster than you think, like Brady. See, y'all don't. You see, it takes one to know one. Y'all gotta see that. You gotta see that. And then on top of that, we just got that tailback.
Who's he gonna throw it to?
Again?
Who's he gonna throw it to? Like
I can't hear you.
He's
gonna throw it to you? You got T Hunter. You got T Hunter. Okay, you remember? I don't want to hear nothing about Montana because we got McLean is going both ways. Remember, Deion said that on ESPN at the spring game. Okay, and then you got Horn on the inside slot. We got William that just came from Jackson State, number 10. Okay, he gonna play the slot. We got Caleb playing the other slot. Okay, so we good on the receiver slot. I don't hear nothing about that. We just got that tailback today. So he running like Adrian Peterson. So if you want to do the math on that, we got Dylan. Man, Adrian Peterson had his ACL blown out. Tom Brady had his ACL blown out.
Are you talking about the best ever? Adrian Peterson, Tom Brady, ACL.
I mean, Menace McGahee. McGahee had him. The Buffalo Bills running back. He tore his.
These are pros. These are dudes at the best. I mean, I'm not saying
he tore that. If I recall, he played that in Miami. Come on, he played that in Miami. He tore his ACL in Miami before he went to the draft. McGahee.
Yes.
So you can't say that.
But you think this?
So yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. I like you, Jeff. I like you a lot, brother. Trust me, but I'm with you. But we got to work together.
No, we are. I'm just pushing back a little bit. You think this guy Willis? Not to say he ain't. That's to say I'm not to say you think this guy Willis McGahee?
We got look. We got 5 running backs on that part of town. We got Tank. We got Edwards. We got that tailback we just got right now. Hell, we even got Charlie in the backfield. And we got the little boomerang head Blanca dude with the dreadlocks, the little dude, number 22. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he's still trying to make a name for himself. But for the most part, we good.
Y'all really see 8-4, 9-3?
I see 9-3 easy because TCU ain't got no quarterback.
9-3
easy. TC ain't got no quarterback. Okay, Colorado State is sorry. Okay, we got who? Oregon ain't talking about nothing. They're still trying to figure it out. Like I said, our biggest threat is Oregon, Trojans, and Utah. That's all I'm saying. Because UCLA's quarterback's going to the draft.
Yeah, but they still
even the city that I'm from. Even the city that I'm from, San Diego, California. Our running back from Lincoln High School is supposed to go to UCLA. He didn't decommitted and he's going to Georgia. So for me, I see a lot further. We'll see Georgia in that game, that bowl game. Trust me. Because Alabama, Alabama still got that. They still got Notre Dame quarterback. And just into the point, he finna go to Alabama. So it happens to the best of us.
Hey man, hey, I love the confidence, bro. Hey, I really do.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't.
You really? So you telling me you think Colorado State's gonna beat us? You think Nebraska? You think Stanford? I know. I'm not. I know you didn't say that, but I'm just telling you. We don't know no names on. We don't know no popular names on that team. Who do you know on that schedule that's good besides Taylor Williams? You got UCLA. That's it. UCLA. That's it. And I'll be at that. That's a firework game. That's a shootout.
I think.
And Oregon. And you know what I'm saying? Oregon always got a nice offense.
I think Oregon, or you just want me to tell you my opinion. I think TCU and Nebraska going to be tough games. I don't know if you win those.
They don't got no quarterback, so stop throwing TCU in there.
Because the TCU just went to the national championship game. I don't know the roster. I don't know.
They had that quarterback. That quarterback, that best player could even beat Georgia.
Yeah, because it was Georgia. Yeah, nobody could beat Georgia. They literally went undefeated. But listen, I'm just telling you, you gave yours. You said 9-3. There's no way in hell to win the 9 games. That's just how I feel. I don't know if it's true or not.
What you got him at? What
I got on them?
Who's gonna beat them? Besides Oregon? Oregon?
I'm about to tell you.
Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
I think you could start off the season 0-2. I think you could. I think at best case scenario, you start off the season 1-1. Then you beat Colorado State. Then you go to Oregon.
What is the overall record? Spit it out.
I'm getting there. It's really my first time looking at the schedule. Oregon and USC are both gonna hang half 100 on you. That's just how it's gonna be. They'll probably beat you back.
Yeah, those are gonna be a shootout game. That's why I said it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a firework game.
There's not gonna be no shootouts. It's gonna be like 50 to like 21. It's gonna be like 55 to 21. Those ain't shootouts.
Oh, you're crazy. We got to bet on that one.
I'm so serious.
We're gonna have to go to Vegas to bet on that one.
And then you got Arizona State. Okay, you got a chance against them. I don't know if you beat them. You got a chance. You got a chance against Stanford. You're losing to UCLA. You're losing to Oregon State. You're probably losing to Arizona State. Washington State is tough. You're losing to Utah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guaranteed losses. I say at best you go 6-6. At best.
You're crazy. You're crazy. We don't know anybody on that team except Oregon and Caleb Williams on USC. We don't know nobody.
USC just brought in probably, I think, the most dynamic high school player, Zachariah Branch.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like they got off
Oregon and USC.
Yeah, you're losing those games for sure.
They got Kingsbury. They just hired Kingsbury. They got Kingsbury, but Kingsbury just got fired from the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, but he can score offense. He's not the head coach. And you're but that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I like Kingsbury. Kingsbury good though. He good.
Your guaranteed losses are Utah, Utah, Oregon State, UCLA, USC, Oregon, and either TCU or Nebraska. You could lose both, but you're losing one of those. So that's why I say it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
The 6 losses.
Yeah. Who's gonna stop our offense? You've seen how Shedeur plays at JCU. JCU, you know he's a rider. He's not sorry. He's not weak. And he got bigger, so he's gonna be able to take the hits.
Okay, bro. Okay, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, bro. But
Jeff, let's embrace this. Let's embrace this. We got a long year.
We do. We definitely.
Because I ain't going nowhere. Remember this carpet tech.
I got you, boss.
I got a John Liquidator the other day. So I mess with both of y'all.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, keep up the good work. Hey, if something comes up, I'm gonna call in.
Absolutely. And I'll be waiting on the call, man, for sure. 9-3, he's tweaking. Ain't no way. I think at best they win 6 games. And that's me being optimistic. I see a lot of 4 and 8s and a lot of 3 and 9s. I'm saying 6. I'm thinking 6 is a good year. If you win 6 games, that is an amazing year coming off 1 and 11. 9 wins? That's rough. What's going on? You're on with Jeff. I can't. You sound like you're muffled, boss man. What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay. I think folks are just shocked that he's able to do this. Because he went to Colorado. Because everybody was like he wasn't gonna be able to do like the same thing and basically what he did in Jackson. He hasn't proven that he can do that yet. Jackson, he actually he hasn't proven. Yeah, but he's gutting the roster like he did though. And he's probably being a lot more savage.
That's not true though. Like I get it. There was roster turnover at Jackson, but it wasn't like this, y'all. Like y'all do get it. Like FCS is 63 scholarships. FBS it's 85. FCS he was getting a lot of P5 guys and FBS players to come to Jackson. At that level, it's different. Yep. It is different. Like we do have to do that.
Yeah, but when you 1 and 11, if I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it my way.
Okay.
And because they're 1 and 11, they really don't have. You're 1 and 11, so you really ain't got nothing to stand on.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think folks are just shocked that he's doing it at Colorado.
But what is he doing though?
That was the thing.
But that's the thing, he ain't did nothing yet. And we haven't been able to prove if this is going to work. We don't know if this is going to work. Now, if it works, he'll look like a genius.
Well, we don't.
If it works, he'll look like a genius.
We don't. Well, we don't. But I would say like this: I'd rather go down doing it my way. I'd rather go down doing it my way. And when you 1 and 11, hey, everything's on the table.
Hey,
because he was brought here because they was 1 and 11. They didn't bring him there because they was 10 and 1.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting to see what's going to be. But I mean, once again, you're talking about players from a 1 and 11 team. Probably 10 of them are probably worth saving. to be honest.
It's about all he saved too. Man, I appreciate you calling in, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I get it, man. It's just like y'all can't. It's apples to oranges comparing this to Jackson State. I'm gonna just be honest. It's not the same. What's going on in your own with Jeff?
Yo, Jeff, it's Brandon. What's up, man?
What's going on, Brandon? What's on your mind?
Hey, man, let me get my stuff out for a quick second. I get off. All right, here's the deal. Deion is an old school kind of person. He even said in an interview once that he has hundreds of suits that he hasn't worn that he got fitted for back in the days when that baggy look was in. And so he approaches things. What I'm trying to get at is he approaches things from a different way, a different standpoint. And so he sees this transfer portal as a way to get where he wants to go faster. So he looks at it like, look, okay, Arkansas got 29 guys in the portal. Okay. Arizona State got this many guys in the portal. Okay. Well, Colorado, we're going to flip this thing as fast as we can. So it's a win now mentality.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got to be patient. Rome was not built in a day. It takes a minute to get where you want to go. And he is keeping his eye on the main prize, which is to compete every day. He's always talking about competition. If you walk through their players' lounge, he's got Papa Shot games and ping pong tables, anything that creates competition. When he greeted those Colorado players that first day in December, he looked at them and he said, okay, I'm bringing my luggage. It's going to be Louis. Everybody knows that. But then he went to the individual group meetings and told quarterbacks, running backs, receivers.
We got a lot of people on the call, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, but we got to get
I'll finish up right now. But he told all the groups, hey, either you guys get with the program or unfortunately you're going to have to leave. He's preparing these young men for life. So Jeff, keep doing what you're doing, man. And I'll keep watching.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you calling in. Definitely. Like, I mean, the thing is, I get all of that. Like, I get it. Like, win now and be patient is told. Like, the thing is, I don't expect, like I just told y'all, I think the best that they can do is 6 wins. But I got folks on here telling me they're going to win 9 games. 9 games? 9? With a team full of transfers? I'm not sure. Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Talk to me, man.
I just wanted to say, man, y'all got to chill out, man. Deion going to do it, man.
Do what?
The team is going to be okay. I don't play
what
football
is okay
for
to you?
years.
What does okay mean?
Well, I said, okay, looking like this. Yeah, they possibly could go 6-6, but they possibly can go 8-9 or 8-3.
Nah. Ain't no way they're going 8-3. I don't think so. That's what I told the last guy. He said 9-3. I don't think so. If they go 9-3, he won't be at Colorado for year 2. He'll be at Florida. He'll be at Florida State. They go 9-3 this year. He will be gone from Colorado because it'll be one of the greatest things we've ever seen at a FBS program. Just that simple.
Well, that'll be awesome, but you gotta look at it from a football perspective.
Yes,
football is football. You don't have to have 5 or 4 or even 3 stars. You can have a no star player, and win a football game. It's all about schemes and doing what the football coaches tell you to do to win a game. So Deion is looking for people to do his scheme. That's all you need.
Absolutely, but we're talking about a team, like you said, that was 1-11 with a coaching staff that I think is really good. I think the coaching staff is good, but they're still unproven, right? Like they are unproven staff. I think they're good. But they're unproven with a bunch of unproven players. That's tough to win 9 games with that.
put it like this, because you got to remember that every football team starts over every single year. And we can already see that Deion is not going to have the same team at all. These are new players coming in, learning a new system, and getting it down packed in 5 to 6 months, somewhere in that range before football season kicks off.
It's actually less than that. You're gonna get about most of the players. Most of them getting there June, so you're gonna get about 2 months. That's another thing. I forgot about that. Most of them are getting there in June, July, so you're gonna get about 6 to 8 weeks before that first game against the team that was in the national championship game. Like your first game is against the team that was literally in the national championship game last year.
Come on, Jeff, man.
I mean, it's the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, what you mean? Come on.
Let's be real about it now. Like, TCU is not that great. Let's just be real about that. They're not that great. They don't have a quarterback, and they have a decent team. Okay.
This team wasn't.
They're going against.
We're just going to disregard the fact this team was in the national championship game last year. Like, we're just going to throw that out. Like, yeah, they lost their quarterback, true, but Shedeur Sanders has never played an FBS game. So, like that's not to say he won't be good. I think Shedeur was really good, but he hasn't played an FBS game. So, like, we got to do the same thing on both sides.
Would you? Okay, it's football.
Absolutely.
If you got to throw a ball 10 yards to another player that's wide open, can you not do that?
Who said the players are going to be wide open?
I'm saying as an example.
I would hope so.
So if Shedeur has to go to another level and just play athlete like he's been playing his whole life, remember he played Texas football.
Yeah, he played
it's
at
not gonna
Trinity
be no
Christian.
different.
He played in like the worst division. Come on, bro. Like, come on. He played at Trinity Christian. Dog. Like, there's like the worst division.
Like I said,
that's the worst Texas football division. That wasn't a good example.
But like I'm saying, football is football. Football doesn't change for whatever level it is. It don't matter what level.
Yes, it changes a lot. It does change a lot. Why is it that Heisman winners go to the draft and become bust? Or top 10 picks go to the NFL, become bust. Like, when you go up levels, as y'all tell me is what happened, it does change. Like, it literally changes absolutely all the time. And why do 5-star recruits become bust? Like that come on, bro. Like, I don't know. It's not a good comparison. And but we got a bunch of calls on the line, bro. Like, he hung up on me, right? He ain't like that. like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not saying Shedeur won't be good, but you keep saying, we don't know TCU quarterback. We don't. But we know they were in the national championship game last year, so that means their coach is pretty good. We know that they got some players on that team. They got some players. They just went to the national championship game. Maybe they overachieved, but they were pretty good. And they got a pretty good coach who's had success. I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm just, what I mean? I say I'm trolling, I point out the obvious. I just point out the truth. What's going on here with Jeff? Hello.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, talk to me. What's on your mind?
Yeah, this is Dev, man. Just calling in. I watch the show and comment often, so I've just been listening in, man.
I appreciate it.
Like you said, I think everybody has to look at it, like you said, on both sides, right? Yeah. You got to be fair on both sides. Deion did the same thing at Jackson State, right? It's not Jackson State, it's not FCS, but you have to look at the track record. All we can go off of is the track record, right? Hey, this person did this similar thing, right? Like you said, 63 scholarships to 85 is different, but we did something similar. Like everybody's saying, this team was 1-11. They were trash. Let's be honest. These players, and I don't, not to be disrespectful, they're kids, but you guys have to go. I told someone the other day, I'd rather have backups, former 4-star, former 5-star backups from an SEC school than a 0 to 2-star that was a backup on a 1-11 team. So we're going to reflip the roster, get in, and, you have to do what you got to do. As far as the schedule, again, I'm riding with Deion. I was riding with my Jackson State. I'm riding with my Colorado. But people who are saying 8 in this and 9 in this, I'll agree that that's kind of pushing it, right?
Yes, it's mad wild.
6 and 6. 6-6 is great, and that's
awesome. I think
really
6-6 is awesome. I think I'm more the optimistic. People keep calling me a hater. I said they're gonna win 6 games. I look over the comments. I'm seeing 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 4. Like dang, like I mean, dang, I said 6. Y'all mad at me?
And and I think what ends up happening though, and I try to be realistic. What ends up happening is you have some people on the side of the fence who just really want to hate, right? They really just want to hate, and they're gonna say, "Oh, they're gonna win 1 game," or "Who cares what he's doing? They're gonna go 2-10." Okay, well, 2 is better than 1, right? So if he wins 2 games, it's better than last year. Then you have other people on the other side who are kind of over exaggerating. But 6 games get you to a bowl game. If you go from 1-11, if you go from 1-11 to a bowl game, literally, this is amazing, right? Like you did something spectacular, and I agree that I think they're gonna win at least 6. If you can win 7, then it's spectacular, right? But I think, everybody should kind of just pump the brakes. But I think people on the other side of the fence, who are kind of upset that he left ASU and feel a certain type of way, you were happy when he did it at your school, so don't hate now, right? Like, he can't turn this around. We don't know. And that's the thing, like, we don't know, but we think so. If we go off the track record, I think he can do it. Like you said, he has the coaching staff. You got the quarterback. Some people kind of the previous caller had the wide receivers, and I know you mentioned like who's he throwing it to. They got some guys right now. I think they need maybe like 1 or 2 more top guys. But you got Travis Hunter. I'm not gonna mention Komani, but you have Travis. You got Jimmy Horn. You have the other receiver who was South Florida's leading receiver, the Weaver kid coming in. You got Willie Gaines, who I think will be okay, right? You got Adam Hopkins, that's a 4-star coming in. You got Amarion Miller, that's a 4. I think it's okay. I mean, I know he looked good.
People on the line, bro, but I appreciate you calling in, man. You was realistic. I appreciate it, though, man.
All right.
I appreciate it. No, I mean, I get it, dog. Like, I mean, I hear all of that. The thing is, what we also have to take into account, guys, they're playing a SWAC. I mean, not a SWAC. They're playing a Pac-12, like a Pac-12 schedule. Like USC didn't just stop getting players because Deion came to the conference. Oregon didn't stop getting players because Deion came to the conference. Washington State, Utah, they didn't forget how to coach or stop getting players, or you know what I'm saying? Like it works both ways. Like it works both ways. That's all I'm saying. I got a few more minutes. I gotta get out of here. What's going on in your room with Jeff?
Salamus Marshall.
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
What's up, Jeff?
Talk to me.
Man, people are being really delusional, and they're proving that they have no clue about what football really is.
Yeah, cut your computer down in the background. We can hear the echo, but keep going. Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is, man, realistically, Deion's coming into a 1-11 program. He just lost 50 players. You have to have at least 85 players to 90 players on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, there's going to have to be some major recruits come in. It's not going to happen, man. I'm just being honest. I'm a former college coach. Been there, done that. It's not going to happen that way. A lot of people are saying 9-3, 8-4. Deion and Colorado will be lucky if they go 5-6. If that. Bottom line is, Shador is a great football player. Great kid, has a great eye for the ball, has a great eye for the game. But the truth is, this is a Pac-12 conference.
Absolutely.
Different levels of play, different levels of scheming, different levels of hiding and covering what really looks like something, then it turns into something completely different.
Absolutely.
It's a different kind of game, man.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. It's a good breakdown.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Jeff, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Nah, I mean, all I'm trying to do, and if you missed the top of the show, we were debunking some lies by Stephenasmith. That's what this whole show was about, really, at first. And then obviously we got into, some people thinking Colorado win 9-10 games or whatever. But Stephen A had some harsh words. He had some words that just he knew wasn't true about Deion helping future black coaches get better jobs. And we know that's not the case because we see great black coaches not get those same jobs. We literally listed off every black coach at the FBS level: Marcus Freeman, James Franklin, Loxley at Maryland, Barbers at Syracuse. And then we start to get real thin. You get what I'm saying? And so Prime coming from a historically black college going to CU, that's not going to help the future of college football with black coaches. It's going to take something else because we see the same problem at the professional levels, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, where it's only Mike Tomlin and the one dude from Miami that don't even want to be called black. You know what I mean? Like, it's limited black coaches at those professions. So that's where we started. And we also were talking about the criticism that Stephen A gave Chelsea Lucas of Grambling when she flipped her roster, and folks are praising what's taking place in Colorado. That's not to say, because I didn't think what Chelsea Lucas did was wrong, but they were bashing her for doing it. And everybody's praising Deion for doing the exact same thing. I get it. One is football, another is volleyball. But, we got to keep the same energy. That's all I was saying. What's going on your own with Jeff?
Dre.
What's going on, Dre? What's on your mind?
Bro, man. All these people that's saying these dudes going to win 9 games. That's not going to happen.
I'm trying to find 9 wins, bro. It's hard. It's hard to find 9 wins on this schedule.
I'm a big Deion fan, bro. Florida State. I follow Jackson State and everything with everything he was doing. But Shedeur is not the problem I'm worried about. It's the roster and the players around him. Absolutely. That's going to be the problem. Shedeur is a 4-star level quarterback. He's good. But
yeah, he's a pro. I think he's a pro. I think he'll play on Sundays.
Yeah, he can play on Sundays. Exactly. Yeah. But at the most, people need to realize 4-8, maybe 5-7 is a great year for Colorado. That is a successful year if they win 4 to 5 wins. Like, people need to pump the brakes on the 9-8 wins.
Well, okay, let me this, since you're realistic. Is it good enough for Deion? Because he preaches all they do is win. All he's known for winning. He's preaching that they come in there to win. Is 4 or 5 wins? Is that good enough?
That would be good enough if he didn't boast about getting all these wins at first. If he gets 4 wins, if he gets 4 to 5 wins in the Pac-12 in his first year with a 1-11 team, that is a very successful year. Very. But, the way he brought it in with the whole week coming and all that, he's really killing the vibe of that team. Like, he needs some of those 1-11 kids on that team just to have enough on the roster.
Depth. You got to have depth in football. Football is 100% injury rate.
Yeah.
Injury rate, 100%.
Yes, exactly. Because if something happens to Shedeur, oh my God, they only want to win 2 games.
Yeah, they won't do that. If Shedeur goes down, knock on wood, we don't wish no injury on no player. But if Shedeur were to go down, they're not winning a game without Shedeur. They're not winning a game without Shedeur.
They're not winning.
They're not winning a game without Shedeur. We do got some more calls though, bro. But I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Now, if Shedeur were to miss some time, like to miss any time, like they're losing every game he doesn't play. We're talking about 4 or 5 wins with him. Without him, come on, bro. What's going on in your room with you?
Cali.
Talk to me. What's on your mind? I'm doing good, Coach Cali. What's on your mind?
All right, sir, man. Nobody said nothing when Lincoln Riley first got there USC, and he had to flip his roster and grow his roster back.
35 players and 60 players is different, though, Coach Cali. Don't you think? Don't you think 35 and 60 is different?
Man. I don't believe that, bro. But I don't believe that. But I believe.
You don't believe what?
The man still went 11-3. He went 11-3. So you know,
think, but you do know Lincoln Riley is a proven Power 5 coach too, right? And he's recruiting at Southern Cal versus Boulder, right? Like those do matter, wouldn't you say?
I used to live in Boulder. Okay. I used to live up in Denver and in Boulder. Okay. Which I'm a USC fan by heart. But USC ain't got no defense.
I agree.
That's another thing.
I agree, but hold on. You skip my question.
I see Shedeur.
You skip my question, though, bro. Like you do know Lincoln Riley is he's a proven power. Like before he got to USC.
Hey, you saying Coach Klein is not proven by winning 2 championships?
No, he's not proven.
So you saying that
he's not proven.
You're saying HBCUs are downgrade. You can win at this level, but you can't win at this level?
That's not what I said.
Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said.
So what you saying?
No, I'm saying he did win 2 conference championships, yes. But in the 2 biggest games, he got the dang, hold on. I thought we let you talk. But in the 2 biggest games of his career at Jackson State, they did lose, didn't they? They did lose.
They lost 3 games. He's good on the road.
Nobody said Shedeur wasn't good. Nobody said Shedeur wasn't.
That's
what
really I'm saying. Good. I don't see Shedeur just from the track record. I don't see Shedeur losing over 4 games, bro.
You don't see Shedeur losing. It might not be his fault. I mean, you got to have a roster around you to be good.
But if you looked at it, they was playing against second string defense. Their first string defense was playing against Stobbs. They only got 7 points scored on them.
Who are you talking about?
This is in a spring game.
Oh, come on, bro. We can't make too much in a spring game, dog. Like those players not even there anymore.
But
and USC's not a spring game opponent. USC's a real opponent that averages 50 a game and that just has the Heisman Trophy winner and just added Cliff Kingsbury. And
USC lost to Tulane, bro.
They did.
And I'm a USC fan.
And Tulane won 12, bro. Tulane won 12 games last year.
But what was their seasons before that, man? Tulane wasn't even thought of.
So you think Colorado's going to be this year's Tulane? You think Colorado's going to be this year's Tulane? I mean, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I really do think so.
Okay.
I really do think so.
Okay.
Because I believe in Coach Klein.
Okay.
And the players that you see right there and the ones that he's bringing in are quality good players, especially like Smoke from Kentucky, the running back. You know what I mean?
He's a backup.
And the guys that
but he's decent.
There.
He was a backup at UK, but he's decent.
Yeah.
He's decent.
Yeah. So and to watch Shedeur dissect the offense, the defense, and I know it's the second string defense, but the way he had control of the offense, I think he'll win 10 games, my brother.
10 games. Hey, okay.
But thank you, Jeff.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. 10 games, that's a lot of wins, bro. Come on, bro. 10 games, come on, bro. What's going on? You're on with Jeff, man. What's going on?
What's going on, Jeff? This is Gabriel. How you doing today?
What's going on, Gabriel? What's on your mind, man?
Okay. I'm just listening to the last dude. All right. Your caller just got off the phone with you.
Yeah.
Now, Deion, if we recall, Deion's spring season, right?
Yeah.
I think he went what? He might have won. I'm trying to remember what. Like
he went 5-4.
Exactly.
5-4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. And then, like you said, and then he had some more players coming in.
Yeah.
For the fall, and that changed.
Absolutely.
Now, okay. I'm gonna make a few quick points. I'm gonna get up off here. Yeah. Now I know he got some more players coming in. I say this right here. I think he may go like 7-5, 6-6, somewhere up in there. Get a bowl bid. That's doing damn good.
That's real
this first
good.
year with Colorado.
That's real good.
Yeah.
I said 6-6, and folks called me a hater. I said 6-6, and folks said I'm
right.
I don't get it.
Right. and then like to your earlier point when we first came on talking about Prime and what's his name, Stephenasmith talking about helping black coaches. Okay, It's like this right here. Why didn't Prime make at least one of his position coaches, or either the offense coordinator or the defense coordinator, black?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, I mean, it's a real question, but don't ask real questions that call you a hater, man. They'll say you a hater.
Be like, what's his homeboy name that he pulled from Jackson State as defensive coordinator? Why didn't he keep him as defensive coordinator?
I guess they said because he's too old. I guess they said because he's too old. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Really?
I mean, that's what they say. That's what I was told. He was too old. I don't, I mean, like, But
yeah, that's that's the only only real point I had to make, man. Like I said, there's not that many black head coaches in the NCAA.
No, not at all.
College football, right? Let alone the NFL. So what you call it? Stephen A. got to think about that too. Just think about what he said before he says it.
Absolutely.
But man, that's all I had to say, man. Enjoy your show, and I'm gonna keep watching.
I appreciate it as always, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Now that's a fact. I mean, when he had an opportunity to help a black coach, he didn't, because neither his offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator are black. Neither one. But it is what it is. What's going on? You're on with Jeff.
Hey Jeff, this is how you doing, sir?
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
I think what people are missing is when they think about the record. Even you, I know you're not a Pac-12 follower, but Arizona State, Arizona, and Stanford all have new coaches.
Yes, they do. I do know that. Yes.
And to say that those new coaches are going to beat Colorado, I think fairness would be, say, 50-50. Would be fair.
No, absolutely. I agree. That is 50-50. Absolutely. That's why I said 6. The only losses I said for sure, I said either TCU or Nebraska, one of them. You're not beating both of them. I don't think, but you could lose to both of them. You could win both of them, but I think that's why I say you split. But I definitely think Oregon, USC are losses for sure. UCLA and Oregon State are losses for sure, and Utah's a loss for sure. And everything else, that's 6 possible wins. That's me being. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah. Now with TCU, they lost their starting quarterback. They lost both their starting wide receivers. The second, the number 2 wide receiver just, as you know, went into the portal.
Yes.
A couple of days ago. They lost their running back. They lost their 2 of their starting offensive linemen. So they got a lot of holes on the offense side, which was the strong point for their team last year. And then on the defense side, they lost 5 starters. So TCU is not the same team that everybody thinking about. They got whooped by Georgia. So I do think that Colorado has a chance.
Well, what they also have, though, is a proven coach and a proven coaching staff. A coach that has won at the Power 5 FBS level. Like, we can't act like that doesn't matter. Like, that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's right.
Also have to take that into account, right? Like, just like they lost a bunch of players, how are they reloading? Through the same transfer portal Colorado's reloading through. Or adding, you know what I'm saying?
I think,
and only difference is they're recruiting to Fort Worth and have a proven coach versus Colorado recruiting to Boulder with a coach that is very famous but is unproven up until this point at that level.
And then, and with USC, winning last year, people got to realize they have 7 guys in the draft this year. All 7 guys were there before Lincoln. Is in the draft.
Yeah, but you're not beating USC.
The wide receiver.
I don't know if you're making this point, but you're not beating USC. Like, I hope you're not trying to make that point.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying, people giving credit. People giving a lot of credit to Lincoln Riley when the cover wasn't bare when he got there. Let's just be 100. He had some 5 stars already there when he got there. Deion had none when he got to Colorado. So apples to apples was not the same. The cover was bare when Deion got to Colorado. Just like Arizona State, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, they are just 15 to 16 players behind him of letting flip in their squad. So Arizona State and Arizona are doing the same thing Deion is doing, but it's not. But they coaches are not prime time, so it's not, because that's a lot too. 40 out of your 85 that you already flipped, that's a lot as well. So I understand that. Then also with that 51 number, Deion right now only have 25 scholarships available. He has 60 right now still on the roster with scholarships. So it's not like he has 51 spots to fill. He only has 25.
He brought in 40. He signed 40 players during the signing period. Yeah, we got all of that. Like, we understand that. Like, I did anyway. I don't think anybody on here was saying that he had to fill 51 spots.
Oh no, I'm not saying. Just like I said, you always fair with yours. But I think a lot of other people I've listened to, they are totally wrong. Now, if you think about it, he has 19 freshmen that he has to sign.
Yeah.
So of the 25, he really only has 6 spots to dig out of the transfer portal. So I mean, that's kind of how it works.
Okay. We do got a couple more callers, bro. But I appreciate you calling in, man. We'll definitely do something like this again. Have you on?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Now, I mean, I try to be fair. Y'all tell me I'm not. Y'all tell me I'm hating all the time. Try to be as fair as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I laid all of that stuff out before you did. What's going on with Jeff?
Man, what's going on, man? It's Sid, man.
What's going on, Sid? What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Man, I had to walk out of a board meeting, man, for this. And I promise I was actually in a board meeting, man. And it just so happened that it came across my phone. Man, don't nobody in the world of college football ever call JSU fans delusional again. And I mean that. Don't you ever. I've heard a guy say, what did he say? They talking about TCU, and he said, well, their quarterback went to the NFL. Do you know who the starting quarterback was last year? And one guy gonna say, well, you must don't know anything about Pac-12 football, and I do. Well, if you know anything about Pac-12 football, you would have known that the starting quarterback for TCU got hurt versus your school, Colorado. Max Duggan was not the starter.
That is a fact.
He came in after the starter went down. You know, that's for those aficionados like myself that actually watch the game and actually knows the game. Now, I'm giving y'all like I'm saying 6-6. They underestimating Oregon State. Oregon State was ranked number 17 at the end of the year.
They had 10
they
wins.
Got DJ.
They had 10 wins. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, and they got DJ coming in. And now DJ Ongole, I can't pronounce his last name, but coming from Clemson. And that style of offense fits him. The only reason why he was trash well, I ain't gonna say trash, but mediocre at Clemson, because they like a different style of quarterback. They like those Sunshines, those Deshaun Watson. You know, they like guys like that. Yeah. So, but I wish Coach Prime all the success, but I just didn't know it was that many delusional fans. They tried to hit and say that they're gonna beat USC.
Yes,
and Oregon, dog. In Oregon, man. Oregon has Bo Nix, man. Do you not see what Bo Nix? And that's a former SEC starting quarterback that plays for Oregon, and he's coming back again.
He's a potential Heisman. Yes. Bo Nix started 3 years at Auburn. Yes, bro. Yes.
I can't name a player every year from Utah. I can't name one. But they always end up winning 10, 11 games every year. I can't name one.
Every year. And they send dudes to the draft every year. Winningham been there 15 years. Hey, come on, bro. It's just facts.
They said the TCU is going. Okay, well, I tell you what, you're right. TCU go take an L to Colorado, but they starter coming from the spring and fall camp last year went down with an injury. And then they said they lost their quarterback, but he's coming back this year. Okay, I get it. And also, since, you know, they're Pac-12 aficionados, guess who TCU just brought in from the transfer portal? Another Pac-12 starting quarterback. So if you know your stuff, man, but you know what? You delusional CU fans, and this is nothing to Coach Prime. I see why y'all been 1-11, 4-7, 2 and whatever. I see now. I see it. And shouts out to Stephen A. Smith, not for what he said, But let me tell you, CU fans, something. And I'm going to take this quote from Stephenasmith, because I know what your state represents. Hint, hint, 420. Stay off the weed, man. Stay off the weed. Do not ever call JSU fans delusional as long as y'all live. Ain't no way. I'm going to get ghetto. Ain't no way in dark snoring it that y'all should call JSU fans delusional. Man, I'm out, man. Let me get back to my meeting. All right, see y'all, man.
I appreciate it, Sid, man. I appreciate it, dog. Because, that's just a fact, bro. I think I got to see you. That is just a fact. I think that, I think I'm being optimistic when I say 6 wins. The folks are saying 8, 9, 10 wins. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, knock it off. Like, really, knock it off. But that's all we got, man. I got some interviews I got to record later. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in again. It was another magical show. We'll see you next time.